This conversation happened on the Amy Newman Skeptic and Ranting Why Islam is the Truth thingy that she did. Here it is. I had a thing here, Amy, if you could share my screen here that I have in the background here, because I wanted to respond to the yellow biblical circle guy.
Our biblical account. This is his first time on the panel, I think, tonight.
Yeah, so this is what he was doing is Presup. So I just want to bring my Presup to fight his Presup, and my Presup is better. So go ahead and negate this paragraph.
So I'm gonna read it for the audience. It is. I think he is. He's addressed it to you, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It's story hour. The word of the real God is this paragraph. No other paragraph about God.
Do you want to read it, Amaretto?
Because this is the real word of God, and other paragraph sentences and anything else written or spoken cannot be true about God. God, then, the real one. And God is hereby defined as being the real one. This is one that is real. How do we know it's 50% full of real? One, because the real God said so, and no other God said so. So it's not true, you see. The real for the real, true truth of God is only held in the mind of one human who was chosen by God to reveal this paragraph at this time. And if you could not refute this paragraph, then your God is false. God has chosen the human who calls himself Deconverted Man online, and also calls himself Dan Green. That's right, Reese's Pieces at times. And only he knows the real, true God as outlined in this paragraph. Unless you refute it.
All right,
and
that's
by
me.
the way,
I'm
whales have
Deconverted
15,
Man. My friends call me Dan Green, but the Presups can call me nothing because I hate presuppositionalism. So yeah, refute this paragraph and go. You can't.
I am the real. I am the one. I'm going to.
You can't. And the reason
you can't dismiss.
No, you can't dismiss this paragraph.
I'm explaining it.
No, you have to refute the paragraph.
I need like 2 sentences, and so you can't dismiss God's omnibenevolence onto theologically entailing benevolence. Excuse me.
But that's my God. It's the real God. It's only the God I know.
I'm refuting your paragraph.
No.
I'm going to refute your paragraph.
Let him try. Let him try.
Go ahead.
So your paragraph doesn't comport with the definition of our God of the Bible, because our God of the Bible is omnibenevolent onto the theologically, entailing benevolence to finitude and size, zoetic particulars ontologically, and this comports with special revelation in conjunction with John 3:16 in the Bible.
Right,
so without special revelation, John 3:16 debunks all other false gods.
This didn't you read the paragraph? It said that this negates your version of God. I know the real version of God, and you don't.
Then presents a definition as a defeater to the definition of our God of the Bible.
It's right there. It says all other definitions except for this one are false, unless you refute this one, which you can't.
That's not a definition. That is a claim.
No, this is the definition. It said it right there. Didn't you read it?
You need to present a definition of a defeater to the definition of our God of the Bible.
It's right there.
Definition battle.
It's right there. I win.
It's a baseless assertion, but he's trying to say is that your Bible is also a baseless assertion. Anybody can make a baseless assertion.
The problem
God's omnibenevolence comports with the Bible.
No.
That's a baseless assertion.
God. I know the true God as revealed by God to me. See, you believe in a false God. This paragraph has already outlined that the real God has revealed itself to me and me alone, and I've explained it all in this paragraph, which you have not refuted and cannot refute because it's impossible. Now, if you want to understand why that's the case, I'll tell you. If you want to engage in Presup, I've already won. You can't win. Thanks for playing. Want to play again?
You said it has only been revealed to you, so you have violated the omnibenevolence of our
But
God,
your God
because
is
an
fake.
omnibenevolent God would make his definition known to everyone, which comports with Romans
That's what you think God
1:20.
is. I know what the real God is. See, you believe in the fake God. I believe in the real God. It's been revealed to me. You have the
yet
fake God.
to present a counter argument to the definition of our God of the
No,
Bible.
I did, because your God of the Bible is made definitely incoherent by this definition of the real God who's revealed itself only
So
to me.
biblical
We
account.
can keep going around and around forever. Now, if you want to learn actual reason why this doesn't work, I'd love to explain it to you. But if you're stuck on your presuppositional script, then I guess we're done talking, which is usually where Presup begins and ends. Is I assume that my thing is correct. I'm going to assert it as correct, and then that's it. And I'm going to make the other person have the burden of proof. I'm going to employ circular reasoning, and I'm just going to stick on script, which is what I heard you do from the very start when you started your Presup stuff. People asked you, what do you mean by God? Which God? And you wouldn't answer that, because Presups typically don't answer complex questions.
They just say,
about
we
what
already
mean
know.
by God. I mean, well, our God, the God of the Bible. Which Bible? There's many Bibles out there. No, there's only one Bible. Which one are you talking about? The God. And they don't want to get off script too far, because presuppositionalism relies upon the scripted responses that they already have. Side 10, Bergengate was a pretty good master of Presup, but he got pwned eventually, because it is illogical at its core. Presup isn't any other thing than pre-assuming that you're right. So we play the I win game, and the rules of the I win game are I win. And if you don't play, I also win. So even if you don't want to play, I've already won that game. And in fact, all of you have already lost.
The gamey wants to get in here.
And
I want to give him a chance.
And the thing is, the Presup, you're stuck. If you don't want to leave your script to Presup, you are stuck as a human being. If you're willing to drop the Presup for a moment, and we can actually talk about your beliefs and your ideas and why you hold them, then that's an actual conversation, which is what Amy and company are attempting to do here in these sort of hangouts, is actually engage in your belief. Now, we're not out to deconvert you. We couldn't do that even if we wanted to. That's your journey to take. And if you think presuppositionalism is the end-all be-all great argument thing, great. That's a debate you can have. But if you want to have a conversation, then let's do that. If not, I already won, and you already lost, and we both lost because we're both using.
You haven't made a counter argument. You can't refute the definition.
You
can't refute the definition of our God of the Bible, because you know our God of the Bible exists.
You know. That's
but
silly.
But hold
just
on.
Presup. Did you not listen to a thing I said about presuppositionalists are stuck in an infinite loop, can't leave their script, will not leave their script. I suspect that if you asked this guy what color the sky was, he would be like, well, I still haven't heard a refutation of the Bible's definition of God. It's like, dude, you don't want to have a normal conversation. You want to stick in your little script, and you do not want to leave that. You want to assert being right, and you don't want to ever learn that you could be wrong. You want to assume that you're right, you want to believe that you're right, and you want to think that you're right, and you don't want to ever leave that because it's comfortable. Presuppositionalists are robots. Of course it's circular, because it relies upon the thing that you think is true. So you start with that the premise is true, and therefore the conclusion is true, and hey, the premise was true. And so the thing said that it was true, therefore the thing is true. And what's more, the thing says you also know that it's true, therefore it's true. But my thing says no, the real truth is something only I know. And the thing that you thought was true isn't true. Only I know the real truth. So now you must negate that. No, you don't. You don't have to negate yours either, because they're both circular in nature. And of course, personally, I know that it's not true. I do not know about this particular God. It hasn't been revealed to me. It's not so apparent that I cannot deny it. I don't have that in my brain. It's not a thing anymore. I used to believe in it, but I don't believe in it anymore. There are atheists I've encountered who have been atheists since childhood, basically their whole life. They never gave a first or second thought to God, and for them it simply wouldn't be true that they know that there is a God. But you could keep insisting, no, you really do know, but you're just denying it. But anyone can make that claim about anything, regardless if it's God or not God, about any version of God, about anything. And it's kind of weird that this happened in this particular hangout, because the topic was about Islam being right. Well, Islam makes a similar thing. They say that nobody can write a book like the Quran, so they're true. And, well, everybody knows that they're true, of course, because nobody can do that challenge, but it's not even a challenge. It's incoherent. It's simply an assertion. You can't do this thing. Now do it. But if it can't be done, then nobody can do it. Aha, therefore I'm right. No, that's not how things work. But even the non-theist can get stuck in an infinite loop, because we too are human, and we are susceptible to the same thing that any other human is, and that's pattern seeking, pattern recognition, and believing a story that seems to be true even if we don't have any evidence that it is true, even though we don't have any research to back up that it's true, even if we can't prove it. Once you begin down the path of, no, this is the truth, and that's it, and I'm not going to change my mind, I'm never going to question it, well, then that's it. You're lost. So we have to be aware of that fact. And so we must be willing and able to question all of the things that we hold to be true, especially those that we hold to be most dear to us. If we're unable and unwilling to question stuff, well, we might just wind up as presuppositionalists. Of course, we might not wind up that way. We might end up worse, whatever that might look like. Well, regardless, what we want to end up is a lobster, obviously. That's what we want to end up as. Wait, that's not how this video should end. Oh man, I had an ending. Like, how should we end up? Was that it? No, it was gonna be like how do we gotta be skeptical. I was gonna say that, like, we should always be skeptical, but then I didn't say that, so now we're here.